Good evening, gentlemen. It's Monday. While I was doing some research for another video topic, I stumbled across something amazing and endlessly fascinating. The U.S. National Archives YouTube channel, which is full of old government recordings. Now, I'm not surprised that this stuff exists and is stored for future generations, but I just stumbled upon it while I was researching the history of canning. The archives are full of stuff, everything from FDR's presidential speeches to old war cartoons and even a 1940s radio broadcast discussing the gas rationing in Detroit during World War II.
And now for In Our Opinion. If you drive an automobile, you'll be vitally interested in this afternoon's roundtable discussion because we're going to talk about gasoline rationing. There's a strong feeling here in Detroit and in the Detroit metropolitan area that gasoline rationing is unworkable here. That our transportation system...
I never would have thought to seek these things out, but it's weirdly fascinating to hear instead of just reading about history. Something about the graininess of the microphones and the classic old-timey radio announcer voice just has me hooked. They have quite a bit of film from the Second World War, which is all great, but what particularly sparks my interest are some of the more mundane happenings of the past. People having conversations about how the war impacted them, talking about their cities or their families, politics, all of it just sounds so normal. When I say it aloud, it sounds almost idiotic. Of course it sounds normal, they're human. And it wasn't all that long ago. Fundamentally, humans haven't changed. But that age is so foreign to me. I don't understand what it was like back then without the modern luxuries that I take for granted. I don't have the slightest clue of what it was like to live through a war fought in my hometown. Or fought by my neighbors. And I sincerely hope that I never have to. We may have made some advancements since the 1940s, but humanity itself is largely unchanged. And I think we sometimes overlook the guidance and wise words of our elders. But it's nice to know that they're still there. They're just waiting to be uncovered. I'll leave you gentlemen with some of those wise words.
We must never let that happen to us or to our country. We must never let ourselves be divided by race or color or religion, because in this country we all belong to minority groups. I was born in Hungary. You are a Mason. These are minorities. And then you belong to other minority groups too. You are a farmer. You have blue eyes. You go to the Methodist Church. Your right to belong to these minorities is a precious thing. You have a right to be what you are and say what you think, because here we have personal freedom. We have liberty. And these are not just fancy words. This is a practical and priceless way of living. But we must work at it. We must guard everyone's liberty, or we can lose our own. If we allow any minority to lose its freedom by persecution or by prejudice, we are threatening our own freedom. And this is not simply an ideal. This is good, hard common sense. You see, here in America is not a question whether we tolerate minorities. America is minorities. And that means you and me. So let's not be suckers. We must not allow the freedom or dignity of any man to be threatened by any act or word. Let's be selfish about it. Let's forget about we and they. Let's think about us.